Hello and welcome to the final of this series. I'm sure there will be future series, but this series of Dyson Sphere Program, where my name is Tristan Registers, by the way, and I have been building my first Dyson Sphere. I started this series initially just to sort of get a handle on blueprints. Just hang on a second, I'll fiddle with my settings. As per usual. Started this series to build a Dyson Sphere. Well, to work out how blueprints work. Mixed bag is my my feeling on blueprints. Really useful in some ways, but not quite as useful as Factorios. But then, what is in a sense? Yes, so the idea today is we're going to finish this Dyson Sphere, and I did a lot of prep this weekend. So I'll kind of show you what I did. It's a very real chance we'll blast through this in about an hour, because let's show you. So where do we start? Well, first off, research-wise, we have everything researched, every single thing researched, apart from Mission Complete. And I have started Mission Complete just to see how long it would take. So if we restart that one, you will see that it will only take us about 50 minutes to finish that. Now, I guess there's some possibility that some problem in the chain will supply chains will cause that not to happen. That's extraordinarily unlikely because I have an absolute bucket load of research packs in there, and that's more than enough to finish that research. So we'd have to have some sort of catastrophe for it not to finish. You'll notice that this one is less here, and why that has happened is because purple stopped for a while again, and I went over to the planet and it was exactly the same issue. Oh, I need to put it on entire star cluster, sorry. It was exactly the same issue as we'd had before. So what this is when a ship leaves, when a drone leaves with 1,000 science packs, it then kicks in and makes the deficit. So that's what I was expecting to see with all of them. Well, apart from white, obviously. But purple had gone completely dead again. Massive, great period of no production. So I went back to that planet. I can't. Well, we could fly over and see it, but yeah. And it had stopped again. It was exactly the same issue, and I figured out what it was. And what it was I'd not set a filter on one of the inserters, so it was occasionally putting carbon out of onto a belt that it couldn't do anything with effectively. So it was one of these, but one of the logistics system it was emptying into or feeding into didn't have carbon, the graphite thing, as one of its options, so it just sat in the entryway. And I've had this before, because this entryway goes into the thing. So if there's something in there that it doesn't like, you've no way of knowing, because you can't click on it. Yeah, so I can't click on... I can click on that one, but there's one more, and you can't see what it is. So that's what it was, basically. A bit of carbon had gummed up the works. So that's gone, so it's all been running fine. The other thing I did, I basically discovered that I did have rockets in my manufacturing hub. There we go. I just didn't recognise the icon. I was looking at it on Friday. So I did have these. So I stuck in a few more. Not a lot more, because we didn't really have a lot of space, but also I didn't really have the production to support a lot more. I did increase this. I don't know if I did that on stream or not, but this doubled in size, but it wouldn't support, an infinite number of them. And it didn't matter anyway, because if we look at the Dyson Sphere, it has completed all of the frames. So all of these are done, basically. So that's sort of phase one, as it were, of the Dyson Sphere, is all of the frames are now completed. So it's not launching any rockets anymore. That's all ground to a halt. The other thing I did was I did some maths, and I worked out that, so if we go to this, so this, roughly speaking, given where our planet is and size of the sphere and the nodes and all that, this roughly works out to be like the 5-minute rate. So in other words, this is how many sails, I say, it's just a fluke of the coincidence, it can put in about 5 minutes. It's approximately, you know, it's around that number, so about 8,000. And basically, I mean, it wasn't 8,000 before, it was about 4,000 before. So I've effectively doubled it. And it isn't. What happens, you might be able to see it actually. You can see them all blasting off and they go into that orbit. Well, we're actually in orbit. No, wrong one. We're in orbit around a gas giant. And what happens is occasionally we'll go around the back here and the gas giant will be in the way. So it'll stop firing. So it drops to very low then. But also, I wasn't able to put these on evenly. So there are some parts, well, here you go. So some parts like this where I've not got too many. There's even fewer there, sort of thing. More there. And then we've got an absolute field of the buggers there. Loads and loads and loads and loads from there. And then a little bit of a less bit there. And loads here and loads here. So there are absolutely loads of these now. I don't even know how many. It's got to be over 200. So they're firing them out at a real clip when they get into the, you know, the busy bits. Let's see if we can find a busier bit. Here we go. So they're absolutely caning them out. They don't make any noise, which is interesting. I don't know if that's deliberate or they're planning to add one. Yeah, so they all fire off into that orbit, but then occasionally the planet gets the whatchamacallit, the gas giant gets in the way. Now, in theory, we might run out of solar sails. Are we near the solar sail production? I don't think we are we? Where's the solar sail production? But I boosted it up just in case. We'd have probably been alright, because they're very, very simple recipe. The solar sails. No, that's crystals. It's right. It's on the equator somewhere. Is this it? No, that's the circuits. Come on. Here we go. So it's a solar sail. So I have, as you can see, the blue area is where it was, and I have hugely increased it. I boosted them up as well, but they're such a simple recipe. Graphene. I mean, we've got absolutely loads of graphene because it's, you know, fire ice basically gives you graphene. So it's graphene, which is just infinite and easy to make, and then they're just prisms and circuits. So it's not even, you know, it's very low level material production. I don't think it's even stressing the planets that are making those. So, you know, I could easily increase this if we ran out, but you know, we're actually getting to the point where we're sort of saturating the belt going the other way. You know, the output belt. But as you see, you know, there's 8,000. Well, no, sorry, there's 6,000 nearly sat in this thing here because it can't produce. It can't use them up quick enough, sort of thing. Which I can also show that one there. There you go. So production is at 473 and consumption is at 458 across that 10 hours. So instantaneous, you know, we're producing loads of them basically. Not struggling at all to make them. They are very simple. So yeah, so if you look at this number, say it does go up and down quite a bit. Yeah, so it's 7,500 now. So it sort of goes up and down, and say occasionally the planet gets in the way. We get to a bit that's not got so much stuff on. But doing the maths there, we've only got 120,000 to go, which sounds a lot, but if you're doing 7,000 every 5 minutes, it's going to be about 2 hours, and I don't mind streaming a bit extra if we just need to finish it off. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to do, as it were, because these sails are being produced at such, you know, enormous volume already, and that's all we've got left to do. I don't really sort of have any odd jobs that I can do. We could hunt round and see if there's anything worth pulling up. I mean, quite a lot of these builds are sort of pointless now, but it's partly because, you know, what they were being used for is redundant. So, for example, sulfuric acid. We've got 3 planets now with sulfuric acid on them, you know, making them. So, don't really need sulfuric acid. Instead, you know, we could stick it, you know, could send it out to other, you know, planets that need it, sort of thing. But is that really going to benefit us now? We're not running out of power. You know, we're not even, you know, demanding a tenth of what that's producing. And that's running. Let's go and have a look at the science, actually, shall we? It would be at the other end. Yeah. So yeah, so basically it's just sort of ticking it down, really. I mean, if I was obviously making... Oh, well, this is run out. We can pick this up. Has it got carbon in it? No, so okay, we can tidy that up. Let's have a look, see. Get rid of that. And then... delete you. Delete you. So yeah, so we can go around looking for things like that. I mean... This one doesn't have access to any ores, so if we get rid of that one, not that one. Are you touching the ore? No. What about you? No. 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 So it's only the 2 of them that are doing anything with ore. But this is like the only planet that's using stone. I mean, we could do that. We could stick in a, you know, a level 2 minery machine thing. Well, so it's all a bit pointless. We don't need stone for anything really. I say, what you're supposed to do is scale up for megabase. You know, make thousands of. Or I don't even know what the numbers are, but hundreds, thousands of science packs and stuff. But there's not a lot of point since I'm sort of ending the series, so that's still chugging away with this glooby noise. I've got any others we can tidy up? You see, Casimir crystals aren't even being used here because there's no use for them, basically. So that one's not doing anything. Get rid of that. And what about you? You are technically. Okay, so they're still on the patch. So, oh, what was this one? I think this was like yeah, that was a load of leftover stuff. So, get rid of that. But yeah, at some point, I mean, what I would probably do is just basically rip this planet apart. Is how I'd actually want to do. There you go. So we're making organic crystals where we got loads of organic crystals. So, do we really need that? Cool. Anyway, we're going to go and look at the science. It's a very tiny build, actually. It's like it's quite surprising. The frame materials, I was running out of. Well, I could have got some more launchers in there. It's obviously missed that. It was the frame materials we were running out of, because they are fairly complicated to produce. But so here we go. Here's the science. Chugging away. How are we doing? We're about a quarter of the way through. Cool. Is it? They're very pretty, aren't they? The glowing cubes. You see, it's all sort of stacked up and ready to go. I mean, we could support higher science consumption. This is a weird build I did here, isn't it? That's all very strange. But yeah, we could support more because we're not using all the critical photons. What else we got? Let's have a look, see anything else we can kind of tidy up. Is there titanium alloy? What else we got? Stone is still chugging away. Oh, it's got some carbon in it for some reason. Oh no, it hasn't. That's obviously just a leftover. We've been here before, haven't we? Done that bit. You got oil in? Yeah. It'd be good if there was a version of the miner for oil. Yeah, that you could get it into your logistic system automatically. Yeah, this is a bit sort of pointless, this plastic. I don't know if it's really ever done anything. It's just sort of sat here. More pink dumbbells. This is all still available and ready. Yeah, so I sort of overkilled it, I think. I should have maybe... The trouble was, I was a long way off finishing. So it was like, do I... Is this doing anything? Oh, it is, okay. Oh, just one tiny little bit of coal there. There's a bit of coal, a bit more coal there. Why don't we get rid of this then? Yeah, I sort of, you know, I could have left it for this stream. Oh, that was silly. But it was sort of a bit... In fact, yeah, it will let me do that. Okay. But then we'd have been sat here. I wouldn't have been able to finish the, you know, the Dyson Sphere basically. It was so far off the number of sales I needed. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hello, Grim. Build big or go home. How you doing? I'm doing well. Not too bad. The getting to a bit of a crunch point in the current project I'm doing, and helps if you power it, doesn't it? At work, and I don't think they're gonna do what they need to do, basically. But it's all of a bit of a weird situation. But yeah, it's nothing that's my fault, as it were. But yeah, a bit of a strange day from that point of view. Anyway, how you doing? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing okay. Is your work sending you off to weird and wonderful places? Let me get rid of that. Bit there. I could replace it, couldn't I? But you see, copper seems to have been like massively plentiful. This is a bit of a weird setup, isn't it? Look at that. We've got sulfuric acid, which it is apparently using, which is interesting. I mean, these ratios are all wrong. That's fine. So there's not much point tearing it up, really. That's what I probably would do. What are you doing? Oh. Oh, no, there is oil. Okay. Has it got oil in it? It's a bit of a strange arrangement. Why? Oh, it's the sulfuric acid. I thought that was the oil. I'm all good. Pulled muscles in. It's feeling much better today. Restoring more doors at Sheffield Park. Job today. Sheffield meaning up north Sheffield, or is that? I seem to have come back to the same bit again. Have I managed that? Or is it just called, you know, Sheffield? I remember Leeds Castle was always a good one for that. It's done it in Kent, not far from where I grew up, basically. So obviously a very long way away from Leeds. No, it's, am I doing anything? I don't think I've ever done anything with them. Those seem to be about the most useless, like, special minerals there is, because it's just silicon. All you can do with it is smelt it into silicon. That one there. It's like, well, it's not like we haven't got any silicon. I think you get twice as much or something out of it. But it's, yeah, it's about the most useless thing there is. What else? Yeah, I never used it, did I? Oh, I've not used kimberlite ore here either. In fact, I don't think I'm doing anything with the novel things anywhere on this planet. Right, is there anywhere we haven't looked for random jobs to do? Looks like they're all working. I'm back here again. There's got to be a bit of this planet that I haven't looked at. See this? No, we've been around there. Yeah, all looks good. Let's go and have a look at the Dyson Sphere. I got a lot of rubbish in my inventory I can get rid of. Not to know sure how well you know London National Park in Sussex near the Bluebell Railway. Oh, right. Working historical steam train. I'm vaguely familiar with the Bluebell Railway. My dad's a bit of a... He's of that, you know, that era. He's a bit of a fan of steam railways. I used to live... I used to work in Alton, in Hampshire, which is quite famous for the watercress line. Especially when the, you know, in the Victorian age, there was a bit of a craze for watercress, of all things. And Alton's like a really good area for it because it needs like flooded land basically, and Alton's like that whole area is like a massive flood plain essentially. So the watercress line was a steam railway that used to run down, you know, to Alton and back, basically bringing watercress up to London. But the beaching, look at all these solar sails. The beaching cuts stop the line at Alton, so Alton's like the end of the line for the modern railway. But they kept the steam railway going, and it does like one of these Thomas the Tank Engine steam things. But I know, you know, I know a few of those because my dad. We were debating where, you know, we wanted to do him when he was still up for such things. One of these where you stand on the footplate, you know, and you shovel coal in basically. And so we looked at several options. One of which was that one, the thing. Are they floating through it? I guess they are they? Fair enough, the Bluebell about 1,000 yards down the road from the join. Alright, cool. It's interesting how it puts them in sort of a fairly random order. I wonder how I'm doing on production numbers. Here you go, so it's going all the way up to 9,000, so that must be a particular heavy part as is pointing towards the thing. But we're now at 436. So it should take until the end of the stream to sort of finish it off fully, but so I don't mind going a little bit longer if it just takes us to the end. Looking good? Yeah, it is incredible how pretty this game is, really. I've said it just about almost every stream, but it's like absolutely nailed it, looks wise. Oh, let's go and crash into the sun. Oh, won't let us. I could mess about with some of the other, because they've got tons of rockets. Let's just hover around. So we could have a bit of a mess about with doing a second shell. Make it a bit bigger, maybe. I think there's like a limit to how close you can get, isn't there? Yeah. So maybe we can make it. I'm interested to know if there's a, because there's a planet in here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So that's obviously where the planet is. So let's make it let's make it really close to that, and we'll start putting in some planet. Do I want to do a different angle? Maybe say, oops. Oh, what did I do there? Obviously entered an invalid number and it just caused it to die. Whoops, no. Or I clicked on something. Add new layer. So what was that? It's about 12.5, I think, wasn't it? Let's make it 12.5. No. So, what do we want that to be? Exactly 90 degrees? Longitude. Oh, okay. That's like the horizontal. So if I do that. So that gives us a second one. And it's at exactly, like 90 degrees to it. Okay, so if we add on... I do want to give some of these other ones a go. What's that? Ooh, They're quite big structures, aren't they? So what does it do if I do one of those? Graticule frame. Build frames along the graticule grid on the spherical surface. The curvature will be more obvious at higher latitude. If it is a diagonal line, it will change according to the regular pattern of longitude and latitude. Click this button to choose the Dyson frame style. Okay. So these are the different looks to them. So the nodes are too far apart. Okay. Oh, it's got a subgrid within it. Okay. I see. So what's the... Oh, it's just curved. That's what it means. Why does it call... What does a graticule mean then? Yeah, so that's straight lines. And that's curved lines. Okay. So that's too far apart. What's the minimum... So, maximum distance? It looks like about that. So if we do... say that. Yeah, I wonder if I can... If I flip now? Looks like it always rotates it at a particular... Oh, I guess it's following the structure, isn't it? I was just wondering... Deployment conflict. So why have you given me grid points that are so close if they conflict? We can get some tight angles on that, can't you? But it looks like maximum distance is just the maximum distance. It won't let you do further. You could build some quite funky shapes with this, couldn't you? I mean, I'm not, you know, just random patterns, basically. Or random messing about. I wonder how close you can... Okay. Okay. So if I do it that way, it's going to curve that way. And if I do it that way... No, it just follows the curvature, doesn't it? And that's why it looks distorted. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's like tons of rockets ready to go, as it were, so it'll probably fill some of these in as we're working away. But as long as I don't put any of them on, it won't distract from the main job. What about, so if I flip to another pattern, it just gives me a different grid, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Don't want to do the shell. I think you can turn them off, can't you, individually, so it won't be quite so distracting. I'm not going to draw any rude shapes. I wonder if I could write my name in some way. Isn't there a complete... Yeah, there we go. Completely gridless one. Oh no, it's always going to be in that direction, isn't it? Let's do straight lines then. Oh, you can't put them in the middle, can you? Okay. What can you? It's just too short. Feel like a vandal. Scrawling my name over everything. So will it let me put this in the middle? No. It's rotating round in a weird way. Or I guess probably get rid of that. Don't want to delete me existing structure. Right, maybe. No. How do I? No. Okay. Oops. There we go. Absolute vandal. Right, how are we doing? In fact, let's got that. So we've got about 20 minutes left on that. We can visit some of the other planets, I guess. So there's not really a lot to do that wouldn't be all about scaling up, you know, and going big. And I'm not going to do that. How close is it to the planet then? It's pretty close, isn't it? Anyway, let's go and have a look on these other planets. It's absolutely ages since I've been... Oh, last here. I did come and put on... This is what I was saying about the... You know, the fractal crystals. It's like, I've got 7.5 million silicon here. I don't need to smelt fractal crystals. You know, I've got so much of it just sort of hanging about. And that's with me having silly amounts of, you know, silicon being made. But these are my, I offshored, off-planeted the production of the engines, because they're like one of the heaviest demand items. So basically this is like ratioed between the things, so there's like 5 of the motors, two of the green motors and one of the blue motor, and it basically gives you about the right numbers with a little bit of excess. But you can see it's basically sat idle now. We've done all that, and then to support them we obviously need the gears and the coils. So this is making the coils. It's making the coils. We've got some prisms as well. More coils there. More coils there. In fact, I think it's all coils on this planet. And then it's bringing in... it's bringing in gears somewhere? Yeah, so it's bringing in the iron stuff. So the other planet in this system is like, or was, heavy on iron. It's probably exhausted, is it, by now? I mean, there's still 2 million copper here, you see. It's like... I spent hours and hours and hours mining up planets, and I've kind of not even used up everything in the home system. So it clearly wants you to build multiple spheres. Oh look, that one's empty. Get rid of that. Yeah, see, it's not even run through all of that. Let's go and have a look at the other. Excuse me. Rock in my throat. Where's the other one? Super Elganubi 4. Excuse me. Right, snip over there. Sudden arrival. Yeah, and this one's making circuits basically. So that was the other thing I offshored, off-planeted, was the different types of circuits. So we've got the green circuits and the processors. Although I'm making the what's it called, quantum chips or whatever. Excuse me. On you know, on the home planet. There should be a bunch of iron. Just loads of titanium processing. glass here. No? Okay, here we go. So here's the iron thing. So we got, obviously we got prisms, but we got then magnets, more silicon, stone brick. What else we got? Here we go. So here's, I'm doing engines here as well, you see. And I think this one is like full on ratio. It's like everything's produced like in the volume to support the thing. So the blue has got enough production of green, and then there's an extra green sort of thing, and the green's got enough production of engines, and then there's an extra engine. So I'm pretty sure that's how I did it. But yeah, so there's the iron plate. There's more magnets. Magnets for days. What's the silicon again? Oh, here's your more of these. So they're kind of been made both planets because they use iron and copper. So, and obviously if there's the engine production, we need them as well. But there's excess of them as well, so that... is this a second build, or are we back to the first one? What's all that titanium? On the engines. It's weird when you sense a scale change. Oh, are you done? You're done, aren't you? Sensor scale changes. You sort of, I mean, partly because you speed up, but you sort of, planets don't seem all that big at this point. But obviously were very big at one point. Here's the steel. Steel's something it doesn't... Factorio uses a lot of steel. Like almost ridiculous amounts, and the ratioing of it is a bit painful. But this, you don't really use very much steel at all. Mostly in landfill, basically. And there we go. So that's this planet. Fascinating. Right, so how are we doing? We have 465 out of 530, so we got about 80,000 to go. If we're doing 8,000, that can't be right, because that would be 500 minutes. Maths is all wrong there. So 8,500, 460... 75,000 divided by, say, 10,000 be 75. I did do the maths. It should work. Yeah. How are we doing on the research? Did it tell me it had finished? Oh no. Is there some problem? No, it's just only been 10 minutes, I guess. Oh, okay. What else can we do? So, guess we could visit some of the science planets. $11.3 gigawatts. That's interesting. The only thing I could do to speed it up is add another solar sail orbit, because they'll try and launch into both then. And there'll be different angles. Let's say should work. Yeah, we're already at 470. Cool. Yeah, so why don't we visit some of the science planets? Or maybe I could go to Dyson 2. I don't think I'm... Which was the one with it on? So it must have been that one. Don't think I showed this after I sort of fixed it particularly. Over there. Anyway, yes, Dyson 2. I mean, we could, but yeah, I mean, we could visit some of the other planets we've not been to, but we've sort of got to the point where I think we've pretty much seen like all the variations. I don't know that there are particularly any more different sort of types of planets. Bang. How am I doing on fuel? Once you get this stuff, you almost forget to check. Did I ever show this? So, this was the blue proliferation stuff. For some reason, I'd only put. Oh, I haven't. I have. So I only put 4 of these on for some reason. Even though when I did the maths, I needed 12 for what I wanted. I only put 4 on, so I basically, tripled it, and that gave me triple, what I was after, sort of thing, or what I was producing. So the maths was all okay. You can see they're kind of idle because we're not doing a lot. But yeah, I quite like these builds. They're sort of quite logical. Yeah, absolutely drowning in the stuff, drowning. Does have a bit of a thing, this game, where everything ends up the same, which is good. Why that that they've given us blueprinting to kind of do that, as it were. But so there's not a lot of. I guess that's where Satisfactory does win out compared to Factorio in this. In that, is this doesn't appear to be moving very quick. Oh no, it's only 6 minutes left. Okay. You sort of end up with exactly the same thing over and over again with this, because the logistics are just so easy to do everything. Did we have a look at the oil? But you end up with exactly the same build. And we can obviously, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? We can obviously do different types of builds, but I think most players end up, they don't tend to do a fat build and a a long build, like I do this, whereas you could make it wider and use more of the inputs and outputs. But see, I tend to just go very long, and then if I want just to use the same one again, I'll do it out the other direction. So yeah, but this is all the oil stuff. Oh, I never fixed this bell. Basically, that's not connected. And then there's also, this one's not connected. This is from where I was copying and pasting it. I spotted that when I was getting a screen capture, but didn't actually fix it in this save. Yeah, the carbon problem was solved. Let's put it that way. So that's the biggest issue. Getting rid of the hydrogen now. Let's go. Oh, welcome back. let's go and see if we can find some other... Oops, why am I hitting the wrong button? Other planets. So people were telling me, I can't remember who it was, but that these B-type stars are meant to be the most powerful ones, aren't they? Doesn't tell me. There's lots of planets on that one though. Wait, is that so you got an orbity one there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Crikey. Let's go and have a look at this one then. I've done a couple of mech, you know, power supply researches. So according to the guide thing, right, you're supposed to be able to accelerate in this mode when you're in warp speed, but it doesn't seem to do anything. It's meant to be shift key. We don't seem to go any faster if I hold it. Whoops, where did I point this thing? I'm not quite sure what that means. Maybe it's an old thing or just a poor translation. Anyway, let's go and have a look at Propus. So you're still chugging away on your achievements, Grim? I don't know if you managed to finish off your lazy bee run. What's this? This is a sulfuric acid planet. Interesting. 42 million iron. It does get a bit bonkers, and say with the whatchamacallit, veins research. So they clearly want you to go super big scale, because, you know, why give you all of this stuff so far away if they're not intending for you to go build multiple Dyson spheres everywhere, basically. Right, so this is a pretty boring lava planet, sulfuric acid planet that we've seen loads of times before. Let's go and have a look at the next one in the system. So does this tell me... I'd have to work it out, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I? How much power we would get out of it. Where's number 2? Well, let's go to... No, let's do them in order. Otherwise I get confused. Come on. Nearly got bots up and running. So I'll get easy soon. Yeah, it sort of renders it almost redundant, doesn't it, once you've got bots? Because you don't really craft anything anyway after that point, so... But your blueprint's working out as well, because I know you said you were working on... Or you'd got some... What was it, 90 science a minute or something? 900? I can't remember what you said it was, but... Are you working okay? I mean, if this gets... Because we're literally about to do the mission complete research. And if we finish the Dyson Sphere, we could just hop over to Factorio, the blueprints thing, because I've been fiddling about. I had a bit of a fiddle last night. Came up with a different idea, but there's a whole load of maths I need to do, basically. Oh, this is a proper lava planet. Okay. 62 million iron, 65 million copper. Crikey. And it's a proper lava planet as well. Crikey, I hope that didn't deafen anyone else.
Congratulations, builder of great civilizations. The primary mission of the Dyson Sphere Program has been successfully completed with your efforts. The energy you provided is bound to make the homeland develop with high speed, and your figure will imprint with every step forward. This cluster has been activated. To remember your achievements, people light up a star in the Milky Way star map. Yes, it will always record your contribution to the forthcoming third-level civilization. Now please rest a while, and then embark on the journey of the Sea of Stars again.
There we go. Okay. Right, there you go. So there we go. So that's the mission complete. I think now that opens up the Milky Way thing, doesn't it? And you can see how you're doing relative to sort of everyone else. What was I going to do? I was going to look at the... How do I get the... Oh, milestones. There we go. Because I think there is one... Yeah, so the unipolar magnet I've not technically done. I've not technically done the artificial star either, because when I finally set that up, it didn't need it. So it never actually activated that star. So we could also do that. I guess we could finish them off. I mean, they're the milestones and not the achievements, because the achievements are added after. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. After I'd already started this save. Rocky Salt Lake. Let's go and have a look at that one. Yeah, we'll finish off having a look at this system. I think. Come on. Don't think I've ever seen a system with so many planets in it. Come on. In fact, let's walk back. Rocky Salt Lake, eh? It's rather uninteresting. Okay. What else we got? So number 4. $90 cents per minute with the option of an easy upgrade to 150 cents per minute. And more if I want to beacon module. Cool. Oh. Oh, it's a water. Oh, I've managed to land under the water. Subaquatic. Oh, there we go. No. $4.2 million spiny forms and 1.9 million coal. Crikey. They call these planets, but they're sort of particularly uninteresting because it's obviously just water. Let's go for a run on the ocean bottom. There we go. Still plays the same sound. There's no water. Oh, there we go. Water version of it. Right, let's go and have a look at this other one then, because I'm curious to see what this actually is. What's this? It's an ashen jelly soul orbiting an ice giant. Okay. Oh, that's a very bright blue, isn't it? Okay, so it's just a fairly boring planet then. But yeah, this entire system then. So can we see? I don't think it... Does it add it up? Yeah, there we go. So this system, 129 iron, 129 million iron, 128 million copper, 62 million iron, 4 million coal, 4.2 million of the spiny forms. Crude oil is a bit rubbish, 120. Yeah, it gets really big when you get far out. But yeah, so what I was thinking is if we hop over to the... Well, let's have a look how we are doing on the Dyson Sphere. And then if we hop over to the... what do you call it? Black hole planet. How are we doing? So we've still got 40,000 left. Yeah, it's taken, what, 20 minutes to get to do 20,000 sort of thing. So we're not far off at all. And it's nearly finished writing my name. Yeah, so we'll head over to the... black hole, which is all the way over the other side of the thing, I think. In fact, let's point ourselves at the planet rather than the black hole. Cool. I just restock. Like so. Have I got miners and stuff? Yeah, I've got the stars. I can just stick some of them in. Yeah, okay. So it should let us... Because I think it would just set up a miner. I'm not going to tear it... Well, maybe I will, but I'm not going to set the planet up fully. Whoops. 27 light years. Okay. That's a crunchy autosave. Yeah, I say if we get done and there's still, you know, half an hour or something, we might hop over to Factorio. Probably not be very interesting, if I'm honest, because I need to do a load of maths with the rate calculator, basically, because I need to work out how much my... Because I finished off all the science, but I've done the upgraded versions, which is really simple and doesn't take very long. So I've placed all the upgraded ones on, and I need to know how much, you know, steel and stuff I actually need to make so that I can edit this bus, basically. So, you know, how much iron, how much copper. We don't obviously have the green circuit builds and stuff done yet, but we can just put machines in until it all sort of balances up. Because basically you want each of the numbers to be kind of positive, and then there'll be a bit of excess. To make everything else. How are we doing? 30 seconds left. There's a bit. Why do you think I play Vector like maths? I like maths. I always struggle a bit. Rates or something. I've always struggled a bit with. I always get sort of manage to get it backwards. You know, so like 3 a second, and you make three machines to make it 1 a second. That, you know, that type of maths. And that's fine at that level, but then I'll do something silly, like multiply it by 10 or something, when I should actually divide it by 10 or things like that. Right, so where's these unipolars? There we go, there's unipolars. A unipolar. So, all we need to do, even this isn't a complicated job, because I'm not mining the planet up. Just to pop one of these on. Then we need to, well, we don't even need to do that, but we might as well order in a steady supply. So if we pop this here, and then we pop this here, and then we request up some of these. Oh, I need a interstellar one rather than that, don't I? So I need one of them. Pop that on. And then put one of these in. And then that on. Like that. And then... Oh, actually, is it an inserty one? Or... Okay. Do I have to put a belt in it? Alternatively, we could hop over to Satisfactory, I guess. Oh, it is a inserty one, okay. And I could remind myself what the heck I was doing last. I think it was just the Fixmas vent thing. Okay, and then we want to order you in, but we're going to need... Oh, it's quite sinister, this music. Nope. So I'll bring them over. We can always put them in. Maybe just some warpers as well. It brings 1,000. Actually, if we do that, then it'll pop them up properly independently. So we'll do this one first. Get some of these guys running. Perhaps some number checking, can't say we're correct either. But I like trying. It's one of the... I think I've become maybe a bit dependent on it. It doesn't matter really, does it? But the rate calculator thing, it's one of the... You know, I tend not to play, you know, I tend to play vanilla basically, but as mods go, that sort of one is really helpful for me because it's why I tend to old school things, to be honest with you, where it's just wait for something to run out, add more until it's, you know, saturated basically. Wait for the next thing to run out, add more. So it's all a bit sort of manual, but you know, it works as it were. It does lead you to overproducing. And that's one of the things I've been... Oh, was that it coming in? Something just arrived in orbit. Didn't it? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, that's something. Okay, now I'm going to have to hand feed one in to get them going. Oop. No? What did you do there? You built a Dyson Sphere with a huge power output of 12.1 gigawatts and antimatter fuel rods from star power, activating your first artificial star. It rotates so gracefully, yet burns so intensely. This spectacle surely means that you've truly harnessed the stars and can stably transport this energy to all corners of the universe. Yeah, they're quite cool, them. I like them, but so, I mean, in this game, I haven't. This is the first time I used them, obviously. In my first playthrough, I don't think I even built... No, I built one, I think, just to see what it was. But it's pretty cool. I love the rotating things around it. Right, so that's that milestone. So if we do this, we can... Where have they gone? Do that. Unipolar magnet. You discovered and mined a unipolar magnet near black hole. One of the rarer things in the universe. It is a pyrochlore crystal lattice from which magnetic monopoles can be separated under a magnetic field. Somebody's clearly helped them with the translation on these because they're not that clear in some other places. What am I looking for? So if I demand then, local demand, we want bots in. Then it'll take them over. So that's all of the max rate calc is a good mod. Yeah, so I quite like it. Or I really like it. A bit worried about getting a bit dependent on it. Right, so they should also be sending them back home, because I think there is a request. I might have got rid of it, to be honest with you, because I haven't done anything with them. They're a useful one. believe. I think you make them into something that's quite difficult to make, don't you? There you go. So you can make them into the pink ones. Can't you make them into something else as well? Or they go into one of the buildings or something, don't they? Oh, that's right. They're plane smelters. They go in then. Cool. Right, well, let's have a quick look at how we're doing. I don't know if anyone's watching. I mean, it always comes out with the... I mean, you've obviously got the, the accretion disk and the, the event horizon, all this sort of stuff. So I guess it's getting light from that. But always seemed a bit weird that you could put a Dyson Sphere around one of them and get power out of it. But yeah, so I guess it's the accretion disk and all that. Right, so home. Unless, so we're at a stage where we've like run out of variety because, we've seen all of these before. We've seen deserts, we've seen volcanic ashes. And it's just about the numbers game now. Because we've particularly seen all of the ones that are the most different are the, like biological planets. And I think we've seen all of them. We've seen the mushroomy one, and have we even got any? Oh look, that one's got a double orbiting one, look there. So we've got a gas giant, plural satellites. But even that, it's not like we haven't seen those planets before. It's just that it's got multiple in orbit, basically. I don't think we ever visited the red giant. I don't know that that's got anything. Arid desert, Gobi. So, just we've run out of variety of planets to really look at, you see. It's just more of the same. Right. Let us head home. Where's the... Oh, other side. I assume it doesn't give you any... Because if we've done all the milestones, you don't get one for... I did wonder if there's meant to be an extra one being added here. Because it looks like one could go in that gap. But also that you could do without it, sort of thing. There aren't any related to combat, you see. I don't know where they would add them. And I don't think any of it... You can get all the achievements, so... I don't know if the intention is to add more achievements. But I'm not actually sure you can do that on Steam. Oh! Pressed the wrong key. Sorry. What was I going to do? How are we doing? Should just 20,000... Well, not even that. 15,000 or something to go. Wait, are they all... Huh. It's actually putting them in orbit. Ah, I wonder if... Oh, I've gone past. I've missed it. Turn round. Quick, do a UE. In fact, I went way past it, didn't I? Tabs. There we go. Yeah, it's actually putting them in orbit now. So it must have enough sails accumulated to go into the things. Apologies. I imagine the frame rate is absolutely tanking the stream. Music's gone all epic. I don't know how many tracks there are. There seem to be a lot that I've not heard. I don't know if they're related to the stage of the game you're at. I don't recognise this music. Where's my name? I'm a vandal. Bugs spray painting their name over everything. See, why are there bits missing here? See, I think it's finished then, isn't it? Not quite. There's a little bit left. Right. Anyway, let's go head back to home. Yeah, so obviously this is going to be the last of the series. I will do more Dyson. I really like the game, so I'm going to do more. But I will probably leave it until they do some big major update, which I'm expecting to be combat, which may be version 1 of the game. Whether I'll stream it straight away when they do it, I don't know, because there's a good chance, a bit like Factorio, where you play with the biters on and you just get annihilated because you don't know how the combat works and you don't know how to defend yourself and all that sort of stuff. So I may well play it through privately just to work out how to do combat. So it may be quite a while before DSP returns. I may also do a achievement run at some point, because there are some of them that are a bit of a pain. And this is the speed running ones as well, so I have to build up to them at some point. But yeah, the plan is to go back to Satisfactory. We'll just pick up on the old save. It's not going to restart or anything. I did actually, so I bought the Humble Bundle in association, in support of Ukraine. Charities helping out in Ukraine, and it's got Satisfactory in it, and it's a Steam code, so I've now got Satisfactory on Steam as well as on Epic Game Store. So there's achievements in that as well, because there's still not achievements in Epic Game Store. I know there was a big fuss about Epic Game Store. I never really quite understood what the problem was. I mean, Steam's just a type of DRM. It's nothing special. I don't get me wrong. I like it. It's just, there's no real difference between any of the stores really. They're just DRM systems. But yeah, I mean, Epic Game Store, considering how much money Epic's got, they haven't really developed it very much. It's still very lacking in features. It doesn't have achievements. You can't leave reviews. There's no forum system or any kind of work, equivalent of a workshop. It's all a bit lacking. Was that you got to work out how you're going to do a mega train base in Satisfactory? Was that? Yeah, that was exactly it, Grim. That's exactly what I said. What counts as a mega base in Satisfactory? What? Because obviously it's used as just an expression, really, isn't it? In these games, it's not actually, mega. Although it's not the proper, unit, as it were, I guess. Well, I suppose it is megajoules, isn't it? But it's a million, and obviously in Factorio, a mega base starts at 1,000, so it's an order of, 3 orders of magnitude out of whack with what an actual mega base would be. I don't actually know. I mean, what counts as a mega? I mean, obviously, Satisfactory is different in the sense that because Factorio, and I guess this for me anyway, the limitation is performance. It's as when I did my mega base attempt, it was it just absolutely chugged when I tried to do the 5,000. Are we there? I think we might be there. No, not quite. 6,000 left. I say it's obviously got enough now that it's just building up an actual Dyson swarm, which can't be helping performance at all. Yeah, it's just this one on the top. It's because it can only insert them using this one or these handful of nodes, I guess. Has it filled in those little gaps that there were? No, it hasn't. Why has it left them until like right at the end? Weird. But it doesn't like nearest neighbour, so these ones are going in here because they're obviously the closest to this point. So you can't, it won't put them in there and then fill a gap over here. Has to be the closest one, but we're not far off. So it might be right. We might get to the end of the stream. Google, okay. But yes, I mean, I say Satisfactory is different in that you've only got a certain number of nodes, and you can only overclock them to a certain degree. And I don't know if it was on the latest one, but I have seen a clip where they said that they're not actually going to introduce like level 2 machines or anything. So there's not going to be a mining level, well, they're already mining levels, but they're not going to be, assemblers and smelters of a higher level. So there's not going to be any way to boost them up other than the overclocking. And of course you can only do that to a certain degree, so there's not going to be a, like this has got the arc smelter and all that sort of stuff. And, level 3 machines and all that, they're not going to do that. So there's got to be a fundamental limit to how much it is. But I would assume as well, and guess that it's sufficiently high that unless you're running an absolute beast of a rig, you're not actually going to hit it. You would hit performance problems. And also I assume, because what does it count? I say, well, you have a look. But you can't finish the game, and there isn't a... Or you can finish the game, as it were. You can't do an infinite research, can you, in Satisfactory? Unless there's an equivalent... Oh, you can put it in the sink, couldn't you? So maybe it's a certain number of whatever it calls them, quantum thingies. I can't remember what that high level thing is. And you stick them in the resource sink, maybe? Don't know. Or maybe it's iron plates a minute or something like that. How are we doing? So we're getting 12.8 gigawatts, but then of course it's got the cells. Can I cut them off? Isn't there a simple way of... Is there not like a toggle for... I mean, I could delete the orbit, but I don't want to do that. Huh. Is there no way of... Because I could go round to all of them and select, you know, set it to none, but that's going to take ages. I just, you know, I say it's not being particularly performant, so if it's got enough sales, we shouldn't kill it with having to do an entire Dyson swarm as well. And it gives me something to do as well. These are a bit weird as well. I discovered that you could, if you offset them by a fairly large margin, you can get them closer. It's a bit strange. So basically, if you build them like that, a draggy size, that's as close as it will let you put them. So, oops, it seems like, come on. That's as close as you can get them. But, oh, there's no space. If you offset them, you can actually get them slightly closer. So if you put one like here, it's like that distance is obviously the minimum distance. And this is further apart, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes in there. And then we've only got 1, 2, 3 nodes in there. So it's technically put them slightly closer together. In terms of, you know, if you think about it as a square grid. So I'm a satisfactory Mark 4 miner, Mark 6 belts, Mark 6 miner, 2000 each and 6 verse 2k speed. Yeah, so but it's modded. It's not, you know, it's not the vanilla. Do megabase is every, but I can't find the criteria for it. Okay. I mean they're not official things anyway, are they? I mean it's not, you know, look, you know, Factorio and this. It's not a. There's no official unit, as it were, of or size of thing. It's just sort of a community agreed point. I was just curious as to what, you know, what people use as that sort of metric. If it doesn't have an end game one, you know, equivalent, I think they've missed a trick there. You know, if it doesn't have a infinite syncable big science, you know. So I think they've probably missed a bit of a trick with it. I'm guessing my machine would just melt down anyway. Getting out there. I could just pick these up really, couldn't I? But whatever. I quite like the noise it makes. Oops. No 1K science is a megabase thing, yeah. But say it doesn't, you know, their science doesn't really work that way, so you couldn't even come up with a thing. How are we doing? Just 3,000 to go, but it's only doing 300 a thing, isn't it? That's because I say it's only putting them into the one, or the very small number of points, I guess. That's a bit annoying. I can't think of it that there'd be any way for me to speed that up. I mean, we could delete this node and pretend that this was the Dyson Sphere. But it's not really a sphere if you've got holes in it, is it? So if we're like... What are we short by? I mean, it's only about 2,000. But it could be another 10 minutes or so, I guess. Guess I shouldn't have just had the one single point there. Maybe done, you know, some kind of some sort of patterned one at the end. Because they're all of these holes are going to have to be filled just by this one point. I guess you learn everything. You learn something new every day. I'll do all this and then it'll run out. I suppose it lets you at least see how many of these I put on. It was an absolute metric ton of them. Let's leave these ones here in case it does need to top up, so we won't change them. Looks like all the rockets have... extra rockets are done. Maybe the resource inch is the way going for all the trophies. When you get a certain one, your base is a mega, maybe? Yeah, that's probably it, isn't it? Because there is one that is ridiculously expensive, isn't there? Is it? It's not the... Is it the golden nut or something? I can't remember. But there is one, yeah. That's probably it, as you say. If you can do a base that will produce that amount of stuff. I suppose in theory you could do that by just leaving it running for a year or something, you know, if it was fairly naff, but yeah, that probably makes some sense. Or maybe it's a certain number of tokens that you can get, you know, oops, that achieve that, as it were. So the ability to get, you know, that number of tokens. I mean, I've got absolutely loads of them. Like in an hour or something. Because, yeah, I mean, the other thing, obviously, with Satisfactory is you can go vertical, so you don't actually need this bigger footprint, you know. You can sort of do vertical in this, but not in the same way. 50 million points a minute. It's like 1,000 tickets, is it? Okay. No, probably not. Okay, well that's all of these done. Okay. So it's not going to blast too many more into orbit. Oh, missed one. Sort of waste the resources, basically. I mean, why I care about that, I don't know. It's more, I say it's more the performance thing. Because having a solar sail as well as a Dyson Sphere. It's just going to probably tank my machine. So maybe if I chop this down to just one row, just keep providing some, because I don't know if there's an age limit thing. Because obviously the sales have a lifetime. So I don't know if they get to a point where they're too old to put in the Dyson Sphere. A bit like me. Right. Yeah, so it's just these ones here that will trickle out a few every so often. How are we doing? It's not quick at all, is it? Because it's still got 2,000 to go. I wonder if I could just work out. I didn't save the spreadsheet I was using. It didn't actually occur to me, this problem. So if it's got about 2,000 to go, well, 240. So it equates to about 5 minutes. That. So it's only sort of 50 a minute. So 2,000. Going to take another 40 minutes. Which isn't too bad stream-wise, but it does mean I've got another 40 minutes to fill. But did I set this up here? I guess we could have a look at the arc smelters. We could build an arc smelter or two. Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I'm pulling in. So we change this to unipolar magnets. I've never built an arc smelter actually. Where are they? There they are. Remote demand. So we can have a look, see what they're about. I think they're just twice as fast, aren't they? Why don't I just get rid of some of that? We don't need that. And God, we could get. Where's the prisms? I don't think prisms are being used on this planet, are they? Must be somewhere. Everything used somewhere. What else? I've still got them carbon nanotubes. They're like my lucky charm now. Just seriously now we're dragging in prisms. Okay, fair enough. What about lenses? Somebody... Ah, those lenses. There we go. Put them in there. What the rubbish I've got? I've got a bunch of them. Power, old school power poles. Get rid of them. Don't really need these rockets anymore. Put them away. Rocket launchers, rather. All the rail ejectors. Put the labs away, maybe? Just going to delete them, I think. Where am I using diffusion juice? Where's that coming from? Isn't it one in the middle? No. Oh, there we go. There's proliferation juice. Right, have we brought some unipolar magnets for me? Not in there. No, no, no. Ah, there we go. So let's grab... Oh, that's probably a bit much. Stack of them. And then... other end. We'll go up there and build a little area. So what does a arc smelter look like? Oh, it's an upgrade of a regular smelter. Okay. Now, where have I got each of them? So, I think these... yeah, they're there, aren't they? Do I have any slots even to... okay, so we've got a couple of slots there. So... and this is like my recycling one. This is so when I've been out doing planets and stuff, I drag all the stuff back using these. There you go. So it pulls them back in. So that doesn't need to be there. Is it that one with the... okay. So that's got them there. And then we would need frame materials and plane filters. Is anybody requesting plane filters? I know we got frame materials. I don't think I've even got a request going for plane filters in any of these. Bit of... oh, no, that's circuits, isn't it? Plane filters... no, okay, so there isn't even a request for plane filters. Okay. So we could request them here. So this could be plane filters. Because we could run a belt across here. Pull these out. Switch this over so that... oh, I don't... but let's just build one. And see what it sort of looks like. Because what else would we need? We would need some of that. Because we also need to get the unipolar magnets over here. So if I do that... has that got a slot? No, that's not got a slot, you see. Huh. Everything is all out of room. Oh, okay. This I could use that. Oh right, okay. There's some there. Huh. But it'd be easier building it up there then, wouldn't it? So if I clear that out, let's just build one and see what it's all about. So we want put some of them in, some of them in. Stack of them or whatever. Frame material. Okay, build me one of those, please. It's only got speed up, hasn't it? So, that's 5 of them, nearly. Right. So, plop that down. And there's a comparator. That's one of the originals. So if this was making, say, iron plate, and that's making iron plate. So it's 4 times as much power. But it doesn't tell me... 1 second. Still says 1 second. Okay. Okay. So what is the actual benefit then? Production speed 2 times. 360, 120, 720. So it's actually slightly more than 4 times when it's running. Oh, no. 720, 144. Yeah, so it's exactly 4 times more power demand for twice as much productivity. So what will be the use case for them then? Because, and I guess if you're space limited somewhere, but you've got an entire star cluster. I mean, I guess if you're going mega base, that allows you to, maximise your density. You'd have to do a lot more of them though, because obviously you're limited by your belts then. 30 a second. Okay. Might as well set them up. It's the only thing we're not making. Okay, so how would this work? If this was... So if this requested in the plane filters and stored the plane, whatever it calls them, plane smelters, how would that work? So we could take them out of there. I think we still want these available. Even, even if it, well, we're not continuing anyway, but yeah, okay. Oh, I flipped that view. Right, so if that was, say, the output that way, and this is the plane filters coming out, then it also wants the miners, but we won't connect that yet. I guess maybe just do a dog leg. What else does it need then? It needs the unipolars. So I am going to have to use this one, aren't I? Because which one's going to be best? Doesn't really matter, does it? Okay. So if this became the unipolars, there, then we could just send a belt going that way. There's no point proliferation in it because it's it's just speed up. So what would we do then if this was oh I've put down a smelter. What an idiot. So if I put that, say, I think we just chuck it through the gap, basically, the unipolars. Just take it up. So this is about the only place in the base where I've done any kind of height, vertical stuff. So say that's the regular smelters. We could have the unipolars this way. Connecting to that. So you need to make them for me. We only want, I don't know, 100 of them or whatever. What's the ratio? 4. So, yeah, 200's fine. So demand, storage. Demand, supply. Okay. Took the belts up, so input, output. Input, oops, input. Connect this here. And then we need to go and get the unipolar magnets. So, are we going to need to go up like 3 levels or something? Something like that, maybe? Might fit through that gap. Take it all the way over there. Collide with something or other. Okay. Collide with something or other. There. And now I'll put these in here. So it's be local demand, storage. Connect it. This is something I'd do a proper version of. I think this is like something you could blueprint, because you could plan it out as a position on the planet. Oh, frame materials as well. Okay. Why have you not got plane filters? Oh, because I got the belts wrong way around. Not in belts, the inserters. So, input, output. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, okay. So, is it this one? Yes, just this one, modular frames. Let's sneak it through that little gap there. So, that's modular frames there. You sneak through there? Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Cool. So that's that. How are we doing? We are 1,100 away. Yeah, it's going to be like 7:15 or something, I think, before it's finished. That's a bit annoying. I suppose what it tells us is that the maximum these can absorb, because it's literally just the one at the top and the one at the bottom. So each node, I assume, must only be able to absorb 120. So that presumably gives you, I mean, assuming a density of nodes, could give you a rough idea of how quickly any one Dyson Sphere could be built. And then how many solar sails you could launch in order to achieve that. Or, you know, say, because if each one does 120, so you'd have to work out how many sails in each segment, but it does tell you. And they're all uniform within each segment, so you could math it out. But yeah, 120 is its maximum rate by the looks of things. Oh, 30. Yeah, so we've got 1,000 left. If 120 takes 5 minutes. That can't be right, that's another 50 minutes. It's about 48, it's 48 basically a minute. It was that before. So it's 48 a minute. So we've got, oops, we've got like 1,000 left, haven't we? 20 minutes, there you go. So yeah, it's going to be about 1/4 past. Oh well. Trouble is, I can't leave it. I couldn't flip over to Factorio and mess about in that because I can't run 2 games at the same time. It is rather slow, isn't it? Really, 120. Sorry, Boss Random One, but you get mistakes when copying blueprints from creative mode to vanilla. Oh, do I get mistakes? I don't recall having had any, no. Do I remember having any problems? No, not. I mean, obviously you have different, you know, different things, as it were, with your void chests and all that sort of stuff. But no, I don't recall having had any problems. What's gone wrong, as it were? You know, do you mean like inserters and stuff like that, or you know? No, I don't think I've ever had any errors going from creative mode to the thing. New life science seems to have changed yellow belts to red. Oh, right. I mean, there is the whole thing of like the upgrade planners you can actually apply to entire blueprints. It's quite easy to make a mistake that way. I've definitely done that before. Dribbler carbon. Can't overclock these, can you? No. Oh well. So I may have misclicked. Yeah, so I can't show you, but on an actual blueprint, there's like a little green square, and if you accidentally click on that with an upgrade planner, it'll do those changes. So if you have an upgrade planner that is, you know, yellow to red belt, and you click on the blueprint, I think it does it even if you in your inventory. If you just click on, you literally just click on the icon in the inventory, it'll upgrade it. No, it swaps it over if you do that. If you're holding something, I think it does it. Alt maybe. I can't remember. But yeah. So if you're in the blueprint, and you just accidentally click on that square with a blueprint planner, an upgrade planner, it'll convert it over. But no, I don't ever recall having the wrong belts, you know, switched over. You know, from going from one to the other. I'll be totally honest, I mean, not that it's only really recently that I've been transferring blueprints in that way. What I would normally do is remember the design and recreate it in the thing, which I know is incredibly silly, really. But I would generally sort of design it in creative mode and transfer it over. I mean, that's sort of what I did with the Mega Base series even. It was only later on. But I was doing that deliberately in order to try and show it on stream. Design of it, but sort of working from screen caps and stuff, it was all a bit painful. But yeah. So I'm a bit lost what to do. We've made them. Should we just look at some production numbers? I could do with a low actually. I mean, we go nuts and maybe whack on a load of white science and see how much we can get through. Burn all the white science. Where's this? Where are the labs? Are they not up north? I thought they were up north. No? Oh no, down south. Okay. Yeah, I mean obviously you can reverse it with that as well, because although they call upgrade planets, you can actually downgrade as well. So it's quite easy to, particularly if you want uniform, you know, uniform belts sort of thing in your build. Just click on it, it'll turn all your blues into yellows, or switch all your fast stacks to fasts, or fasts to or even stacks to yellows. What was I going to do? I was going to get rid of these yellow belts. I randomly have in my inventory for some reason. Right, yeah, so if we just keep sort of adding stuff on here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. I wonder if, isn't that, don't you reach a point where you have to fly to get them on? One more. Look, it's enormous. I was trying to, because it's like a ratio of 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're very difficult to count, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. So maybe if I take one off, it'll be 15. Maybe. And then we can have 5 here. Something like that. Something like that. It's still not even using them up. Even with all of them on. The rates do vary. It's a bit of an odd thing. 3,000. 8,000 there. 12, 8, 6, 6, 8, 8, 16. Crikey. So if I did this one, can I do that one? Carry capacity of 1. So it requires that one, did it mean? There you go, there's a plan to emergency stations. Because this is output cargo set count in the configuration. Use tech limit. Oh, that's just okay. What's the difference between those two? Well, obviously, adds more, but costs more. Nutrition system. Oh, is it just because this one's a hard limit? This one's, yeah, that's not infinite, is it? Except that goes to 12. What? Oh, there is a 10 as well, okay. You need level 1. Weird, okay. Might just stack them up, I guess. In fact, it's still not. Mecha Core level 7. Just add more on. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7. Oh, I'm run out. In there? No. There? There we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Okay. Oh, it's finally starting to move along. So they do have different rates on them, so... Imagine we'll run out of these photon lads first. In fact, what does it say about production of them? Where are they? Where are you? Where are they? So, oh, we're not actually consuming. I mean, obviously, I built it with the idea that I'd end up using antimatter, but I haven't really. So, oh no, consumption is. Oh yeah, okay. So this is faster than we're making them, basically. We're making 210. Okay. I'm so bad at filling time. So, I mean, my intention is to stream Fridays still. Because that's a really easy one just to keep up, because everyone knows I finish work now fairly early. And then you anyway, because we work flexi, so I was like, I buggered off at like 2 o'clock when we were in the office, so I finish about 12 now. So I'll keep up the Friday one, and it fits in well with like personal commitment thing. Well, some things I do basically on a Friday evening, but the Monday is a bit more in question. I do enjoy doing the streams, obviously I enjoy doing all the streams, but my name's upside down. It's tricky to get the timing right because I've usually got quite a lot to do on the Monday, and I'm literally finishing my dinner and then starting the stream. So I enjoy doing it. It's just I think I will do it when I restart Satisfactory. But if I'm playing Factorio Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then I don't know that Monday's sort of needed. And it'll only be a couple of weeks. So basically, the event I'm going to WASD, I could probably bring it up actually. See if I can get a. Feels like I'm doing a sort of a just chatting, but I'm not a very chatty person, so it's difficult to think of what to say. So the WASD event is this one. Accept. So if I flip that over to screen capture, hopefully that's come through. So basically this I'm going to, and it's like the 7th to the 9th of April. It's basically, so this tobacco dock is like a venue. It's literally what it says. It's a dock where, like as in for ships, sailing ships, where they used to drop off tobacco. That's where all the tobacco would come in from the New World, from the colonies in the New World. And it's a former dock, as I say. It's in Docklands. So it's a weird venue. It's sort of I really like it actually. It's a lot of character to it. Might be some pictures or something, but it's basically taken the place of an event called RESD, EGX RESD, which was held at that location, basically in that slot as well, because it's the London Games Festival or whatever they call it. They usually have the BAFTA Game Awards at the same time as well as part of that event, but not part of EGX, but that. So basically that's what I'm going to. So what I'll probably do is obviously I'm not going to stream that weekend, but it's a couple of weekends off, so it's 26th this weekend, so it's like 2 weeks basically, 2 weekends, and then that. So for the next 2 weekends, I'll just do Factorio. All Factorio all the time. This isn't on the correct thing. And we're only 200 off now, so about 5 minutes or so. So yeah, it's about 7:15 it's going to finish, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll be going to that, and then I probably won't do anything the weekend after. It's actually Easter, the weekend after that. So I may end up with nothing to do, and actually I'll stream more. But I'll either pick up pick up Satisfactory the weekend afterwards. And say I might do like I did when I had the days off a couple of weeks ago. Just do a longer stream to kick it back off again, maybe. And then that'll be the Friday and Monday stream, Satisfactory instead. Is what I'm currently thinking. We're literally 150 away, so if we pop that back to that. Put that on there. Is that still live? Yeah, looks like it. Getting audio? Yeah, cool. I always get a bit nervous when I flip between them things. Right, so that's basically it. I mean, it's 120 away, so we'll go and see how it's doing. Oh, it's eating through them white cubes, isn't it? I was wondering how much I could actually sustain them. That's interesting that keeps... Have I accidentally got... No, because that's an output, isn't it? There must be like one cube. Oh, 2 cubes have got... That's where I've done some manual fiddling about and stuck them back in. But they're obviously like the bottom of the barrel. It's not pulling them out yet. It is odd how their proliferation works. I get what they're going for. Oh, look at that. Blimey. And there's that planet. So pretty. Let's go and have a look at the polls, Ian. Where's the poll? Not too close. Can't see the... There we go. No, that's the... There it is. Oh. Well, there's nothing going in here. So are we done? It's not absorbing anything there. According to that, it's still doing 80. So maybe it's the other end? But it looks like the north is finished. Or whichever one that is. South? North? I guess given space, there isn't really a north and south. Oh, okay, so there's a few still going in here. Can we see the gaps? There's a couple of gaps there. Nearly there, nearly there. I should probably actually, if I delete out the other ones, we can actually see how much power this is actually like producing. So if I... how do I do that? So I just delete it? This might cause a meltdown. Oh. There are structures remain in the selected layers. We'll do that once we're done then. Because I have a feeling that'll cause my... Because don't they just explode, basically, or something? there. Nearly there. Why is it slowing down? Oh, wait a minute. I guess that's because it's... No. Oh, no, that's... Yeah, that's exactly... That's the countdown, basically. So we have 25, 24... Oh, right. So these are just literally the last handful. 20. Nearly there. Your two bots are so close. Yeah, it's one of the cool things about the lazy... a few other achievements. You don't actually have to do... You only have to launch a rocket. You don't have to do all the space science and all that sort of rubbish, or even have a satellite in it sometimes. So is that like, I mean, how many achievements have you got left, sort of thing? 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's it completed. 3. Oh, cool. That's it. That is the Dyson Sphere. Finished. We've done what I set out to do on this stream. A bit of an interesting learning at the end there, in that, as I say, I've spammed in loads and loads of the rail ejectors. But it's it becomes a limiting factor in that this can only absorb... I mean, obviously you could design it differently, but each node has like an absorption rate, and there doesn't appear to be any way to increase that. So as you see, we've ended up with a Dyson Swarm as well, because it can't actually take all of them in. You know, it doesn't just infinitely suck them in. It you know, it can only take them at a given rate, and there doesn't appear to be any way to speed that up. So that's interesting. So a bit of a fundamental limit on it. So we'll get rid of this and we'll see. Do I want to save it first? I might just save the game first. I'm just a bit worried it will delete the entire sphere and cause a complete meltdown. So I'll do the sign off. Needs to be 2 million more green circuits and the 100 follower bots. The 100 follower bots is an interesting one because you have to... It means actual bots that you've launched. So I know some people, or somebody I certainly saw, thought it meant do the 100th level of the follower count research, but you only need about 20, I think, and then you just spam them out, and they don't need to do anything. You just fire out a load of bots basically. But I think that's the only time, or the last time I've made bots, and I did the achievement like 4 years ago or something. Because I just don't... I mean, combat bots. I just don't use combat bots. Right, yes. So, let us delete this layer and we'll see how much this is actually... power this is producing. So, delete this. So, yeah, they break up, you see.
You demolish the structure of the Dyson Sphere.
Oh.
It will scatter the solar sails, and this will temporarily increase the total power generation of the Dyson Sphere.
Oh.
But these scattered solar sails will regain their life cycle.
So what it actually appears to have done... I mean, thanks for that. Cheers. What it actually appears to have done there is converted the rockets into solar cells. Because there were no solar cells in that... Oh god, that's completely chunking. Hopefully it's still live. But it's turned them into solar cells. And they weren't solar cells, they were rockets. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like they're floating back into that swarm. Right, so this layer... Is this the total number then? That's a total number, isn't it? So I'd actually have to get rid of the swarm. So it looks like we could generate 11.8 gigawatts, and we're getting 2-ish. Generation capacity 1 gigawatt. Now, I don't know about you, but 11.8 plus 1 is not 13.4. So it's either some rounding error, or maybe it includes the native power generation on the planet. But that's interesting. Cool. So there we go. Yeah, for the bot one you do, yes, because because you need to do several of the follower robot count, and they are an infinite science one. So yeah, you need to. Oh look, the sails are all flying away. So they haven't joined the swarm; they just drifted away. Yes, but that's it for this stream and this series. I will be back on Friday, when I will be playing Factorio. Which Factorio series I play, I'm not 100% sure. I'm tempted to give the Blueprints one a go again on Friday. I say we didn't get around. I thought the Swarm would finish a lot quicker, but I didn't realise that whole only one node can take it on 120 at once. So yes, that slowed us down a bit, but mission complete, and Dyson Sphere complete. So yeah, so that's it for this series. I will pick it up. I will do another series when Combat appears, or whatever the next big update is. But that I'm hoping will be a few months where I could do with a bit of a break from this, and we'll pick Satisfactory up after WASD and possibly a bit of holiday for me. But yeah, until then, lots and lots of Factorio. So if that's something that interests you, then I'd love to see you back, and watching along. I think that's it for me for this weekend. So yeah, if you've been watching, hope you've enjoyed it. You might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Dyson Sphere Program. Thanks for watching. Cheers.